exploited your entire life, have your beak cut off, or your tail cut off, or castrated, and then at the end you're killed. Like, it's so awful that we do this to animals, and there's no justification for it. In addition, torturing and exploiting animals also puts humans at risk, and it's killing us too. I think right now with COVID-19, this is a wake-up moment when we realize that what we're doing is wrong. And if we don't change how we treat animals and how we treat them, then we're just asking for another pandemic. We're just asking for more disease and suffering. Experts have already acknowledged and said that exploiting animals and animal agriculture is a huge threat to human health and human populations, and it's connected to COVID-19 and future pandemics, which we could be seeing if we don't change things. Thank you so much, everyone that's supporting and sharing the live stream. I appreciate all of your help in spreading word, and I really appreciate all the activists out there that stand up for a better world, who listen to their hearts and are fighting for animal and human liberation. Hey, Cholo. What's up, buddy? Cholo's like, are we going for a walk or what's up? Good stretch.
George is like leaning like a cholo.
Let me get your let me get a little. You okay, Children? For anyone that's just joining, my name is Kitty Jones. I'm an organizer and activist with Direct Everywhere SFA. I'm here doing the coronavirus confinement challenge. I will be in this cage for a few more hours in solidarity with the animals that are confined and killed by humans on farms around the world.
Okay. Now we're going to transform this into a cage-free farm. You know what? I'm just playing with you. Because we know that cage-free is just a lie. And cage-free is way cheaper.
So many people have probably seen the label cage free or free range, like the one that was here before, or even organic on packages at the store. And the point that we want to make is that these labels don't mean anything for the animals. That many cage free farms, if they even comply and actually get rid of the cages, which many of them don't, many of them continue to use cages and confine animals to these small wire cages. But the ones that don't, the animals are still confined and cramped and crowded and just flesh on them. They're so packed together that they might as well be in a cage because they can't move and they can't access food and they can't spread their wings. Like, imagine being stuck in a mosh pit for your whole life. That's not really freedom. You don't have the freedom to move. You're stuck with a bunch of people. And it also contributes to the spread of disease, as we know now, that in these crowded, cramped, filthy conditions where tens of thousands of animals are crammed together suffering, disease spreads rampantly. And due to the overuse of antibiotics as a preventative measure, not as a treatment, many of these animals develop antibiotic resistant bacteria and germs that spread around, and then they can jump humans. So exploiting animals in animal agriculture is a huge human health risk too, and it can lead to future pandemics just like COVID-19. So don't be misled by the labels of organic and cage-free and free range. None of it means anything. The animals don't want to die. And regardless of what it says on the package, regardless of the cute photos they put, drawings of the labels of happy animals frolicking and being with their families, or the ridiculous commercials of animals talking about their luxurious lives, none of it's true. Happy animals frolicking. These animals, at the end of the day, even if they're on a cage-free or a free-range or organic farm or whatever, they're still forcibly impregnated to have babies on dairy farms. Their beaks are still seared off on egg farms. Baby pigs are still castrated. They're still mutilated in horrible, horrible ways. And they're still all sent to the same slaughterhouse. They get flipped upside down, their throat is slit. And that's humane. No one wants that to happen to them. No one. And we have to stop lying to ourselves. We have to stop inventing new words to try to make ourselves feel good about supporting animal torture and animal cruelty. If you haven't already, please share the live stream and sign our petition at DxE.io/cancel animal ag. Oh my god.
It's okay.
No. Oh, you're just trying. My back really hurts. I haven't even been here that long, and my back already hurts.
Imagine the animals being in there for like days and days and sometimes they don't even get fed.
Yeah. I think many of us who are in shelter in place in stuck at home are feeling anxious. But imagine what the animals go through. Not that we shouldn't feel anxious. Of course we feel anxious, you know, like things are uncertain right now. We don't know what's gonna happen in the world. But what the animals go through is literally unimaginable. Spending their entire life in a filthy, crowded cage or a filthy, crowded shed if they're not in a cage. And even those who manage to be born and raised on facilities that aren't so horrible, which the majority of them do grow up on those facilities, even the very few that are on like these super small imaginary farms that everybody always is suddenly the excuse for all animal use and exploitation, they're still gonna die. They're still gonna have their throats slit. And we wouldn't do that to our cats and dogs at home. We wouldn't buy dog meat if it was sold at the store. So why do we do it to other animals? It literally makes no sense, and it's killing us as well as them because it's spreading diseases like COVID-19. And as I sit here in this cage, I can't help but think about the animals that I've connected with and made eye contact with and met at slaughterhouses and animal exploiting facilities like egg farms and dairy farms. All of these innocent beings that, with their eyes and even with their cries, beg for help and are asking us why we're doing this to them. Why are humans torturing them this way? And those animals that I've met, they're dead now. And it just breaks my heart. So I'm here for them. And I'm thinking about them. And I even have the tag of a pig that was at a slaughterhouse. And I wear it to remind myself about the urgency of the issue and why it's so important that we fight for animal liberation, because they're dying right now and we have to be there for them. We have to keep fighting for a better world, and it's a long fight and it's not going to happen overnight, and awful things are happening all the time, but we can't give up because no one's going to fight for them if we don't. The government's not going to help animals. The institutions that supposedly regulate animal exploiting operations, they're not help animals because they fundamentally are speciesist and believe animal are objects too. But us as individuals, most of us recognize that animals don't deserve to be tortured or killed. So it's up to us to say something and to do something about it. So please sign our petition at DxE.io/ cancel animal ag and share this live stream to help spread awareness about what's going on with animals. And hopefully we can inspire people to join the movement for animal liberation and fight for a better world for all animals. I'm trying to find a position that's not painful. Or that hurts so bad. And if anyone hears snoring in the background, it's my dog, Mika. She's snoring. Because she is happy, safe, and free, as all animals should. Mm-hmm. Thank you. It makes me so happy to watch Mika sleep and dream, because she moves a lot when she's dreaming. Because she was also in a cage for a long time. She spent 7 years at the animal shelter, just alone in a cage or a kennel for 7 years before we adopted her, and we only adopted her a few months ago. She's 14 years old, she's a senior now, and her legs really hurt, her heart talking. So I just can't imagine how emotionally traumatic it must be. And physically too, you know, to not be able to get the exercise you need and the care you need necessarily. But it just must be so emotionally traumatic to just be locked up and wonder, like, my home, like, why don't I have a home, or why did they abandon me? I don't really know her story before then. I don't know what she went through before that. Yeah. I'm thinking about the pig whose ear tag I have. I don't really know who this pig was. I just know that they were one of the pigs that got slaughtered at the slaughter I went to with activists from DxE, Mexico City, and Mexico City Animal Save. And it just breaks my heart to know that someone was born and when they were a baby, they castrated them without painkillers, without anything, and they probably docked their tail and did other mutilations to them, and they punched this ear tag into their ear to give them a number because that's all they were to this company. And it just breaks my heart. I don't know much about that pig, but the ear tag reminds me why I'm fighting for animal liberation. It's so urgent. The animals need us now. This is my organic slop, which doesn't make my life any better just because it's organic. Just like organic animal agriculture doesn't make animals' lives better. They're still suffering, they're still in challenges, they're still miserable, and they're still gonna die, and it doesn't matter what food they were fed. I wouldn't care what food someone gives me if they're gonna kill me ultimately. Any comments I should know about? I hear Chola say. For anyone who's just joining, I'm doing the coronavirus confined challenge and demanding an end to animal agriculture that we can't animal ag. Cholo, what's up, buddy? Sorry, doing this thing. This is my Cholo, who is here. Also a rescue. The computer's gonna go to sleep. Cholo can chill there. What's up, buddy? Cholo. Cholo's adorable. We have several rescued animals that are happy. Cholo and Mia, 2 piglets in the other room, and 3 cats. Thank you so much to everyone that's watching the live stream and everyone that has shared. If you haven't already, please share the live stream to help spread awareness about what's going on. It's really to help inspire people to take action for animals. A little over 2 hours. Yeah, I've been here for a little over 2 hours. I'll probably be here in 2 hours. Because I have a meeting at 1 and I have to get to the meeting. But in the meantime, I want to be here in solidarity for the animals and inspire other people to find creative ways to help animals and to stand up for them. Given our circumstances, many of us are in shelter in place, so we can't leave our homes. But there are still ways that we can help animals. And right now, social media is kind of our only tool. And we can use Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and we can get our message out there, and we should be organized about it and do it together, because otherwise the world doesn't want to talk about animal liberation or animal exploitation. The world is perfectly continuing to torture and abuse and eat animals, and not do anything about it because the animals are defensive. We've made them so defensive by confining them and mutilating them in so many ways. But yeah, we have to use the tools available to us and be creative to speak up for the animals. So that's why I'm here taking the correct confinement challenge and staying in this cage for the next few hours in solidarity with the animals. My heart also goes out to all of the humans that are in prison and all of the immigrants that are in immigrant detention centers and all of the every being that is confined right now against their will, because we all deserve to be happy, safe, and free. And if anyone hears snoring, it's my elderly pit bull, Mika, who's fast asleep right over here, and she snores in her sleep. Oh, my neck and shoulder hurt so much. You can hear the piglets running around in the other room. It makes me so happy to know that they're happy and living their best life. For anyone who's just joining, my name is Kitty Jones. I'm an organizer and activist with Direct Action Everywhere, SF Bay Area. I'm doing the coronavirus confinement challenge to demand that we cancel animal ag. I'm here in this cage. I'm here for a few hours. I'll be here for a few more to demand that we stop exploiting and killing animals and to spread awareness that the mass confinement and murder of animals is also getting sick. that these animal agriculture operations are just breeding grounds for not only misery for the animals, but also for future pandemics like COVID 19. Many experts have already acknowledged that animal exploitation and animal agriculture is a huge human health risk. The filth and the confinement and crowding, and also the overuse and misuse of antibiotics. Um, these facilities don't have to disclose to the government or to anyone really how much they're using, so no oversight. And overusing and misusing antibiotics results in antibiotic resistant bacteria and really scary diseases that medicine can't treat. So this is a huge risk to humans. And right now with COVID-19, which has completely changed the world for many of us and so rapidly, it's a wake-up call. We have to stop what we're doing and we have to change the way that we treat and mistreat animals. If not, we're just asking for more disease and the never-ending exploitation and misery of animals, and we have to stop that. So here in California, we're in shelter in place, and there's not much active can do outside in person. But the least that I can do is find creative ways to take action at home. So I'm doing this confinement challenge to spread awareness about animal exploitation and animal liberation, and to be in solidarity with the animals, the millions and millions of animals that are locked up in cages, confined, and destined to die. They were born to die. So I'm here for them. I also want to talk about the humane lie and labels like this, cage free, that mean nothing for the animals, because so many of us have been misled to believe that maybe it's wrong to kill animals, but maybe there's a right way to not. Cage free does not help animals. Organic does not help animals. There's no right way to do the wrong thing, and it just infuriates me to see labels like this and pictures on packages, pictures of happy animals outdoors and all this like scenery, and it just upsets me so much because it's not true. That's not the reality for animals. They're suffering, they're dying, they're being mutilated, tortured, and killed, and there's no label that we can put on it that makes that okay. It doesn't matter if they're in a small cage or a huge crowded shed. It doesn't matter if there's a small door for them to go outside or not, because we have no right to take their life in the first. We have no right to exploit them any more than people can exploit dogs or humans or anyone else. Like, we would be horrified if there were dog farms here in the United States that were docking dogs' tails and castrating them and selling them as free range and organic dog meat. We would never support that. We would be horrified. There would be protests everywhere. And in fact, there are people get furious about what happens in other countries in terms of dog meat. It's the same thing that we do here. The species, what's the difference? Like, we mass murder cows and pigs and chickens, and other countries also eat cats and dogs. And horrified by that, and it's wrong. It's wrong to kill them, but it's wrong to kill any species. So I really want to spread awareness about this and get people to think critically about the choices that they're making, and to really encourage everyone to join the movement for animal liberation and join the fight for a better world. We can build a world where there are sanctuaries and not slaughterhouses. And if you haven't already, please share this live stream and help us spread awareness and inspire others to find creative ways that they can take action for animal liberation as well. I'm so hungry. Everything hurts at this point. For anyone that may just be joining the live stream and is wondering what is going on, my name is Kitty Jo, an organizer with Direct Action Everywhere SF Bay Area. I'm doing this solidarity action with animals called the Coronavirus Confinement Challenge. I've been in here for a few hours and won't be here a little longer. I'm here to demand that we cancel animal ag, we end the exploitation and confinement and killing of all animals and all humans too. And right now, due to COVID, there's not much activism we can do outside, so we're finding creative ways to use social media as a tool to help animals by getting the message out there and spreading awareness about what's going on with animals and why they need our help. So please share this live stream if you haven't already. Help us spread the word about animal agriculture, how it's spreading disease and killing animals, how we need to end it in a better world. Maybe inspire people to take action and join for animal liberation. And please sign our petition too at DxE.io/cancel animal ag. Chola's just staring. It's funny how every position hurts after a bit, no matter what. What's up, Mika? Mika. What are you doing, bro? For anyone who's just joining the live stream and wondering what's going on, my name is Kitty Jones. I'm an activist with Direct Action Everywhere SF Bay Area. I'm doing the coronavirus confinement challenge and here to demand that we cancel animal ag and end all exploitation and confinement of all animals. So DxE, we have investigated many animal exploiting facilities. We've been to experimentation facilities where they breed animals to experiment farms, egg farms, dairy farms, so many places, including slaughterhouses where animals are ultimately brutally killed. And we've seen time and time in confinement and disease and misery and suffering. So I'm here to demand that we end that and to say that no one deserves to be in a cage, and that by confining animals in these ways and putting them in these crowded conditions where they're not getting the nutrition, exercise that they need, they're extremely stressed out, we're spreading disease that ultimately will kill us too. I've seen with my own eyes, I've been to many facilities and I've seen death and disease everywhere, feces and manure lagoons and dead animals on the ground, animals cannibalizing each other, animals so tightly packed in the cages that they can't move or turn around at all, just trample each other, or they just lose their minds. And it's awful, and it's no wonder that disease spreads in these places, and due to the abuse or misuse and abuse of antibiotics, and it develops antibiotic resistant bacteria, more diseases that medicine can't cure. And it's just terrifying, especially right now with COVID-19. And I really hope that this is a wake up to all of us that we have to stop exploiting animals and we have to stop using them in this way, because ultimately it's going to kill us too. And many experts have acknowledged that animal exploitation and animal agriculture is a huge human health threat, and it also is linked to COVID-19 and future pandemics. And as I sit here, I think about the humans that are in captivity and locked up in detention centers and prisons, and think about animals I've met at facilities animals was not able to save, who are now dead now. And I remember them, I'm here for them, I fight for the world today and every day. And I also wear around my neck the tag of a pig from a slaughterhouse. And it reminds me of who I'm fighting for. And it reminds me of how urgent this issue is. We have to fight for a better world, and we have to fight now, because animals are dying, they're being tortured, and diseases are spreading right now. And so please share the live stream. If you haven't already, help us spread awareness about what's going on with animals, and inspire others to also fight for animals in creative ways to speak to animals. Right now, due to shelter in place, one of our only tools, activism, is social media. So let's use it to help spread the word about what happened to animals and inspire others to also join them for animal liberation. You can sign our petition at DxE.io/cancelanimalag. And again, please share the live stream if you haven't already. Being in this cage is definitely not fun, but it's literally nothing in comparison to what the animals go through. I've seen chickens on egg farms that are crammed so tightly in cages that they can't move or spread their wings at all. They never go outside. They never experience love or compassion. And stacked above them are more cages, cage upon cage upon cage, like up to like 7 cages high. And all the feces from the cages above them just falls down on them. They're all sick. They're all in pain. Having that they get their skin in their necks, in their wings, sometimes caught on wire, caught cage, and they hurt themselves or mutilate themselves or just die hanging there. That's awful. I've seen and heard pigs on pig farms just screaming and screaming to be set free, screaming in pain. I've seen on dairy farms just row after row after row of baby cows in veal crates destined to be killed. DxE, we have investigated fur farms, rescued chinchillas, we've rescued animals directly from slaughterhouses. We've rescued animals from laboratory breeding facilities. We've rescued animals from egg farms and pig farms and dairy farms. We've documented the conditions, and we've seen time and time again horrible, disgusting conditions. And it's no surprise at all because these industries and our entire society really use animals as objects to be consumed and exploited and sold, just objects to make money. But at the end of the day, what is money? What's the point of this imaginary currency at the expense of life? You know, and causing suffering to beings. It's just senseless. It's completely senseless. And I think it's because our society is so fundamentally speciesist, and we have to unlearn that. We have to learn the idea that any animal exists for us to use them or abuse them in any way, or any human for that matter too. Nobody exists for anyone else to use them. And all of us deserve to be happy, safe, and free. Luckily, we've been rescuing animals as well. When we go to document conditions, we've been able to save many lives thanks to the activists with DxE, but also thanks to individual activists and organizations. So many animals have been rescued from a life of confinement and cruelty and are now living out lives in homes or at sanctuaries. And it gives me so much hope that that's the world we could have. We could have a world where there are sanctuaries and rescue homes instead of slaughterhouses and exploiting facilities. We don't need that. There's no excuse to continue to use and abuse animals. And I really hope that this pandemic wakes the world up to the truth that we have to stop. We have to stop exploiting them, confining them, abusing them, eating them. That's not what they're for. They exist for their own reasons, like we do. Thank you so much to everyone for your support. Please share the live stream if you haven't already, and sign our petition at DxE.io/cancelanimag. I'll be here for a while longer. I've been here for 5 hours already, in solidarity with the animals, and also with all the humans that are confined as well. I already feel anxious to get out, and I'm already physically so uncomfortable. And I just can't imagine how awful it would be for animals who literally spend every moment in a cage and are only taken out when it's time to kill them. It's just so awful and heinous that I wouldn't even believe it's true if I hadn't seen it myself, and I know that it's true, that animals are treated that way, and I wish it wasn't. But that's why we're fighting for a better world. There are so many amazing activists out there that I know personally, and people that I haven't met yet, that every single day are fighting for a better world for animals, and it gives me much hope and inspiration that we can create that world. Why are you crying? Cholo's done being confined to his bedroom. I think he wants to go out.
You know.
Can you check if the piggies are out? We have baby piglets that foster at this house, and we don't really trust Cholo with them yet. I don't think he would hurt them, but he just barks and gets really worked up, and we don't want to scare them. So before we let him go out, we have to make sure the pigs are not in the same area as him, just until they're big enough to scare him. My baby girl. Hi, Cholo. Gracias a todos que compartieron la live. Me llamo Kitty, estoy aquí en solidaridad con los animales que están encerrados, que están en jaulas. Los animales en las granjas de huevos, en la industria animal, en las granjas de carne, de cerdos, de vacas, en todos los lugares donde están en casa. Y estoy aquí para ellos. Y si pueden compartir el live stream, por favor. Y ayúdanos a compartir el mensaje de liberación animal y difundir el mensaje que la industria no solamente está explotando animales, pero nos está matando a nosotros mismos, porque en esos lugares donde hay tantos animales, tantos cuerpos encerrados en tan poquito espacio, están creciendo más enfermedades también por los antibióticos que usan. Ahora hay más y más enfermedades que son como resistentes de los antibióticos y la medicina. Y ahora con eso del COVID tenemos que tener mucho cuidado, y también es un momento para como darnos cuenta que tenemos que cambiar lo que estamos haciendo. Tenemos que dejar de matar los animales, explotarlos, encerrarlos, torturarlos, comerlos. No son para nosotros, y matar a ellos nos está matando a nosotros mismos también. Y ya llevo casi 3 horas aquí en la jaula y voy a pasar más tiempo aquí. Y para mí sí está como aburrida, está incómoda, tengo hambre, quiero salir, pero para los animales no es nada. Ellos sufren de una manera que yo no puedo imaginar para nada. Yo he ido a granjas de pavos, de vacas, de gallinas, he ido a mataderos y no puedo ver cómo sufren los animales. Pasan todo el día, todos los días en una jaula. Nunca conocen la compasión, nunca conocen la libertad. Nunca van a sentir que es ser libre y sentirse seguro y feliz, jamás. En la industria y van a morir ahí. No nacieron para morir, nacieron para hacer carne, para hacer lo que sea, para que alguien pueda ganar un poco de dinero. Y eso me duele tanto, y por eso estoy aquí, porque con COVID podemos salir de la casa, pero todavía siempre estamos buscando otras maneras creativas para hacer activismo, para luchar por ellos. Ojalá pueden compartir el live stream para ayudarnos a difundir el mensaje, y también pueden firmar la petición en DxE.io/cancel animal egg, como cancela la industria animal, pero en inglés. Pues voy a pasar más tiempo aquí, y ojalá podemos hacer un mundo mejor. Ojalá podemos cerrar todos los mataderos y abolir la industria animal, porque ya no hay excusa, no hay ninguna justificación para seguir tratando a los animales así. Los expertos ya han dicho que explotar animales y matarlos así, tener encerrados tantos animales así, toda la industria animal, pues está creciendo más enfermedades, y tiene que ver con los pandémicos así como COVID, y dicen que vamos a ver más pandémicos así como COVID si no cambiamos lo que estamos haciendo. Y me duele también porque yo sé que los humanos no somos personas malos, no somos una así ala, ¿no? Pero sí hacemos cosas malos o malos, y no porque nacimos así queriendo lastimar, pero que crecimos en una cultura que nos enseñó que es normal y que está bien explotar y matar y hacer daño a otros animales que son comida, que las vacas existen para darnos su leche, que las gallinas existen para darnos sus huevos, que los cerdos pues nada con carne, y eso no es cierto. No son objetos, sí, para nosotros, no son para explotar, no son para dominar y poner en una jaula. Es horrible vivir así. No puedo imaginar cómo sufren, su miseria y todo. Y es bien raro también porque empezó en China, y ahora muchas personas están hablando, pues siempre han hablado mal, pero están hablando más feas sobre la gente asiática y las culturas asiáticas, que comen animales, comen perros y gatos, pero aquí hacemos lo mismo. Como no tiene sentido. De hecho, nada más es puro racismo, pero no tiene sentido estar juzgando la cultura por una especie. Estamos aquí comiendo otras especies y torturando animales igual. No hay justificación, y por eso estoy aquí en solidaridad con los animales. También estoy pensando en los humanos que están en cárceles, que están en detenciones de inmigrantes, todos los seres vivos que están en jaulas. Estoy pensando en ellos, y hoy y todos los días y toda mi vida voy a luchar por su liberación. Por favor, comparte el live stream y ayúdanos a difundir el mensaje y exigir un mundo mejor. Ya es tiempo para cancelar la industria animal, ya es tiempo para dejar de explotar y matar a los animales. No tiene sentido, no tiene razón, no es justo, y nos estamos haciendo daño a nosotros mismos. Muchísimas gracias a todos que están viendo el live stream, muchísimas gracias a todos que han compartido el live stream y por su apoyo, y más que nada gracias a todos los activistas aquí en the Bay Area, pero en todo el mundo. Conozco muchos activistas en otros países también, y gracias a todos por inspirarme y darme esperanza y luchar por un mundo mejor, por los animales y pues por todos. Ya me duele todo el cuerpo. Ya me siento desesperada, con ansiedad. Pero qué privilegio tengo, soy un humano y vivo aquí y yo no tengo que vivir en una jaula que me va a explotar, nadie me va a matar y comer. No gusto que lo hacemos a otros individuos. She's so cute. This is a slightly comfortable position. But my back and neck and shoulders are already.
Alright, time to switch it up. We're gonna start calling this meat because this is the new buzzword everyone loves to see in all the meat packages. Legally doesn't mean it much, so we don't have to change anything. Enjoy the humane life. Be selling your flesh at Whole Foods. Ha!
Yeah, again, as I had mentioned about the other labels like organic and cage free and free range, humane also doesn't mean anything for the animals. I don't understand how people can have the nerve, or companies rather, have the nerve to label the dead body someone who was brutally killed, lived an awful, miserable life, how they could call that humane. You're gonna have the nerve to say that's humane. Like, just imagine if someone came up and killed you and packaged you up and sold you and was like, oh yeah, they lived a plain life. Like, there's no quality of life or type of food or access to the outdoors ever justifies one. No need to be killing animals or eating them. So it's just bizarre to me that these companies have found ways and terms and labels to convince people that what they're doing is okay, to convince people that they don't have to think about their choices. They don't have to actually challenge the idea of eating animals at all. They can just get humane meat instead of feeling bad about it. I think most people do feel bad about meat, and that's their heart telling them that it's the wrong thing to do. And so these companies have found creative ways by calling it humane, cage-free, and organic, and free range, and all these things that make people feel good about their choices. And they've invented the terms as marketing terms just to convince people that what they're doing is okay, and it's not. To convince people that, oh, well, you can love animals and still eat them too, and that's not true. We should eat animals. And just joining the live stream and maybe wondering what's going on here, I'm doing the coronavirus confinement challenge. I've been here for a few hours, and I'm here for another hour. And I'm here in solidarity with the animals who are in cages on facilities all around the country and all around the world. And this because it's the only comfortable position. My neck really hurts and my back really hurts already. I'm just saying, but because the animals go through so much more, like I can't imagine what they go through. Not only the physical pain of being confined and not being able to be comfortable, many didn't even move or turn around or stretch wings, but the psychological pain and trauma of being isolated or just not able to be free and express their natural instincts and desires to run around and forage and do that animals want to do. And I just can't imagine what it would be like to be locked up your entire life. I would my mind quickly. Like, it would be so awful, and for millions of animals, that's their reality. Not just here, but everywhere. On egg farms, fur farms, imitation labs, aquarium zoos, meat farms. Like, all of these animals are locked up, destined to die, and that's horrible. And I think most people know that's horrible, and we have to stop it. So I'm here to demand cancel animal ag. It's time to abolish animal agriculture, stop mass killing animals, stop abusing them, and stop hurting them. Not only is it wrong to do this because it causes them pain, but it's also dangerous because it creates and spreads new diseases that then can hurt humans too. Hurting them hurts us. The COVID-19 crisis right now is a huge wake-up call for all of us, that we need to change we need to change how we treat animals. And to acknowledge that animal exploitation and animal agriculture, the mass confinement and filthy conditions that these animals are in, are a huge health risk to human population and are directly linked to COVID-19 and future pandemics. On facilities, there's no oversight to how much antibiotics they use. There's almost no oversight at all to how to treat the animal. And so all of these bodies crammed together that are not getting nutrition, they're not getting exercise, they're extremely stressed out. They're just breeding grounds for bacteria and disease. The animals get disease like wildfire, and then it can be caught by humans too. DxE investigators, we've gone and I've seen firsthand, and many other activists have seen the abuse of antibiotics, the filthy conditions, and all stuff. That's reality. It's the truth, and no humane label justifies that or takes away that truth. That's what's happening now. So that's what's gonna say. So thank you all so much who have watched this live stream. I really appreciate your support. Everyone that commenting positive things, even the haters are commenting mean things. It really doesn't affect me. I will always keep fighting for animal liberation, and I know that what we're doing is right. And if anything, it helps boost our social media. So thank you. And if you haven't already, please share this live stream so that we can reach people our message and inspire people to find creative ways to take action for animals. Many are locked in our homes right now, but there's a lot we can still do to help animals. And especially when this is all over, we can join activists in person when we're able to leave our homes and this virus has passed. And I really hope that our entire world and the human population that we changes following this virus. It's really scary what's happening. It's so scary. Tens of thousands of people are dying. We don't know who have it or who will die next. But so this is a wake-up call. This is time for us to change as a society to stop exploiting and killing animals and forcing them to live in these conditions. It shouldn't be a surprise to us that we're getting sick too. So I've been here for 3 hours now, and I'll be here for another hour in solidarity with the animals that are being exploited and killed. And I hope that you can share this live stream, help spread awareness, and to join the movement for animal liberation. You can sign our petition at DxE.io/cancelanimalAg. And thank you so much for your support. Being in a cage is awful, and I can't imagine what it'd be like for the animals. Everyone in a cage every day must be so awful. My sneak peek into what Mika does all day when I'm not home. Sleep. I'm glad though. I mean, she's not running around bored. She's just the same. She just hibernates.
She can't even run right now.
Mika. Hey, baby. Hey, cutie. My knees hurt them too.
Specifically?
It's not fun to be in the cage at all.
Did you want me to do it for the video? Just what the video? That's pretty.
For anyone that's just joining and wondering what is going on, my name is King. I'm an organizer with Direct Action Everywhere, SF Bay Area. I'm doing the coronavirus confinement challenge and demanding that we cancel animal ag. I've been in this cage for a little over 3 hours now, and I'll be here for a while longer. I'm doing this in solidarity with the animals that are confined in cages, and also to spread awareness about what's going on animal exploiting facilities, and that there's a movement for animal liberation fighting for them, and to also spread awareness about the diseases and the cramped conditions on these facilities, and how the way that we treat animals results in diseases and pandemics like COVID-19, and why it's so important that we address this and we stop exploiting and killing animals now. I really hope that this virus, which has been terrifying and has taken so many lives, will be a wake-up call of humanity to change what we're doing and to change the way that we treat animals. We don't need to be exploiting animals on these facilities and forcing them to live in these conditions and killing them and eating them. We don't need to do that, and there's no justification for it. But we have to stop. We have to stop doing that. Also on these facilities, not only are the animals suffering, but they're so crammed together, and antibiotics are being so misused that diseases spread rapidly, and diseases also become resistant to medicine and bacteria, which is really dangerous for human populations. Many experts have acknowledged how animal exploitation and animal agriculture are huge threats to human health, in addition to animal health, and how pandemics like COVID-19, and COVID-19 is very much connected and caused by animal exploitation and our species' disrespect towards other life. And I hope that things change. The time for action is now, and the time for change is now. We can't do much since we're in shelter in place, but as this passes and as we get out of this, we have to find new ways to operate our world that involve mass killing and exploiting animals. There's no need to do that, and I think most people know that's wrong, and most people know that those facilities are dangerous and hazardous. So what's stopping us? Time for changes now, and it's up to us as individuals to fight for a better world and to join movements and activism for a better world, because the institutions that are perpetuating this violence in the government are not going to do anything to help us. They're not going to do anything to help the animals, because we live in a world, in a society, that these institutions use animals as objects, as commodities to sell, and it's really sad that money would be more important in the eyes of these institutions than life itself, but it is. So that's why it's up to us to fight for a better world. I think we already know what the right thing to is. So thank you so much to everyone that is here in support and on the live stream and that has shared the live stream. Please share the live stream if you haven't already, and help us spread the word about animal liberation, the word about cancel animal ag, and the fact that these animal agriculture facilities are breeding grounds that are right now brewing new diseases that can infect and kill humans as well. And also on my cage, you might notice it's humane. I have organic slop, and the whole idea there is that I'm miserable. It doesn't matter what the cage says, just as the animals in these farms and in cages are miserable regardless of what the package of meat, the package of eggs says. Like, they might say cage free or humane or organic, but none of that's true. Those animals are suffering, miserable, and were tortured their whole lives, and there's no justification for that. Like, we would never see humane cat meat at the store, or organic dog meat, or free range human meat. That would be disgusting and horrible. And it's just as disgusting and horrible to have goat meat and turkey meat and cow meat and other animals' flesh for sale at the store. And it's so normal to us because we've seen it our whole lives, but it's not normal, and we have to wake up to that. We have to stop supporting this violence. And so that's why I'm here today, in one creative way that I figured out to do activism from home, given the circumstances. And I'm here in solidarity with the animals and also the humans that are in confinement. And that you'll share the live stream if you haven't already, and help us spread the word about what's going on for animals and cancel animal ag. Please sign our petition at DxE.io/cancel animal ag. And please share the live stream if you haven't already, and let's spread the word about what's going on. Thank you all so much for the support. I've been here for a little over 3 hours, and I'll be here for the rest of this hour as well. And it sucks. It's boring, and I'm really uncomfortable, and everything hurts, and there's no comfortable position to sit down in. But it's nothing at all compared to what the animals go through. And I myself have been to many farms and slaughterhouses, and I've seen absolute misery and horrible, filthy conditions that animals live in. And what I'm doing is nothing compared to that. It doesn't, I'm not even doing them justice. Like, they live cages on cages on cages with urine and feces everywhere, and they're day in and day out for their entire lives until the inevitable day when they're ripped out and killed. And so I'm here for them, and I also wear around my neck the ear tag of a pig from a slaughterhouse, just to remind myself every day why It's so important that we fight for animal liberation and who I'm fighting for. And I hope that other people will feel inspired by the stories of animals and investigations that we've done, and also fight for animal liberation and join the movement for a better world. And hopefully someday we'll have sanctuaries instead of slaughterhouses. And we can prevent future pandemics like COVID. What do you think, Mika? Hi, Miki. Miki's my senior pit bull. She just woke up. She's probably gonna go back to sleep. She's super sweet. Mika was also rescued. We don't really know her whole background, but we recently adopted her from the animal shelter a little over 3 months ago, maybe 4 months ago. And she was at the animal shelter for 7 years, just sitting in a cage or a kennel, just waiting for a home, and it makes me so sad to imagine her. But being in a cage at the shelter is way better than in a cage in a chicken farm or an animal testing lab or a fur farm where you're gonna be tortured and killed. So I'm really happy that Mika is now happy, safe, and free, and I dream of the day that all animals are happy, safe, and free, and we abolish animal agriculture and we stop torturing them and killing them and make excuses for the violence that we do to them. There's no excuse, there's no justification, no need to killing them at all. For anyone that might just be joining the live stream and is wondering what's going on, my name is Kitty. I'm an organizer with DxE SFA area, and I'm doing the coronavirus confinement challenge. I've been here for a little over 3 hours. I'll be here for the rest of the hour as well. And I'm just in solidarity with the animals that are confined in cages in facilities all over the world, and to demand that we animal ag, just as we've canceled everything else. It's time to cancel animal ag because that's the real root cause of the issue and the cause of pandemics like COVID-19. And if we don't act and make change now, other pandemics in the future are already coming, and other awful things that we don't even know about are going to continue to happen. The mass confinement and exploitation of animals and the mass use of antibiotics causing antibiotic resistant bacteria and diseases to spread. And so it's just a matter of time that until we have more diseases that are in and non-human animals. Not only that, but on these facilities, animals are suffering in such horrible ways that there's really just no justification to continue oppressing them and exploiting them in this way. I know that myself and many other activists have been fighting for a long time for a better world in which all animals are safe, happy, and free. And I really think that this virus and all the things that are going on, all the changes that are happening, this is a time for real significant change to happen, that we can change our world away from animal exploitation and the murder of innocent beings to a world that's compassionate and safe and healthy for all of us. So thank you so much, Gemini, here for it. I'm very uncomfortable, anxious being in this cage. I don't like it at all. But I'm here in solidarity with the animals, and also what I'm going through is nothing at all compared to what the animals go through. So I'm just using a little bit of time and energy materials that I have to make us think about animal liberation. But I encourage people to educate themselves too, and to sign our petition at dxe.io/animalag to share this live stream and help spread the word. But what happens to animals is so much worse than me sitting in this cage, because they live in the cages every day their entire life, day in and day out, and they never experience love or compassion or freedom with the sun or any basic thing that we take for granted. So I have the privilege of being able to be free, not locked up in a cage, and I have to use that privilege to help others who need help. So I dedicate today, every day of my life, really to the liberation of animals and as well. While I'm sitting here in this cage, I think about all the animals that I've met on facilities and farms that are probably dead, and all the animals, the millions and millions of animals that I haven't met that are on facilities that are languishing and miserable, and I just think about them, and it motivates me to keep fighting for a better world, to never give up. I'm also thinking about refugees that are in immigrant detention centers and people that are in prison, and how awful it must be for them, and my part of that as well. I believe we should have anyone locked up and confined. And yeah, thank you all so much for your support for the live stream. It's time to stop exploiting animals. It's time to build a better world and end the spread of these diseases and end the mass torture and killing of animals. Thank you all so much for your support. Please share the live stream if you haven't shared it already. I've been here for over 3 hours, and I'll be here till the end of this hour as well. And please just never forget the animals and who we're fighting for and how urgent this issue is. They need us now. We have to fight for them now. And there's a movement already, Direct Action Everywhere, and many other organizations that are a part of animal living movement and join the movement for a better world, join the movement for animal liberation, and get involved. Right now, our tool is social media because we're all in shelter in place thanks to COVID-19, which is directly a result of our collective disrespect to animals and animal exploitation. So let's use the tools of social media, spread the word, and educate ourselves and get involved. Oh, my neck hurts so bad. Cholo. Cholo! Hi, buddy. What's up? That's my friend Cholo, a rescued pup. We also have Miko over here, who's another rescued pup. With a lot of rescued animals I have, who luckily no longer live in cages and are free and happy. We are also fostering 2 piglets right now, and they're so amazing. They're so smart and have so much attitude, and it's amazing to get them and see them for who they are, but also heartbreaking to know that pigs just like them, if they were born in any other circumstance, they would be exploited and killed and fattened up to the point the bodies are like a prison for them. Their bodies are in so much pain and killed, and it's just so awful. And so the pig that we are dealing with right now, my Thailand, we're fighting for, and just how these ideas of different species don't really matter. The idea of like, oh, well, pigs are just food and dogs are smart and we should love them. None of that's true. Species doesn't matter because we're all equal in the ways that matter. We all want to live and we all offer and we all deserve to be free. And so that's why I'm here today, still in this cage, hours later, to demand that all animals are free and that no one lives in a cage. And right now we don't have many tools available to us since we're all in lockdown, but we can still use our social media and we can still create a ways to action, and that's what I'm doing today. And I'm so inspired by investigators with DxE and activists around the world that have taken action and dedicated their life saving animals and making the world a better place. It inspires me and gives me so much hope because there's so many awful things happening in the world, and sometimes it's overwhelming, but I have so much hope that we can make the world a better place. It's going to take a long time, and it's going to take a lot of us working together, but we can do it. And we can have a world where animals aren't in cages like this, because it's an awful life. No one deserves it. And I don't think any of us, activists included, can ever truly understand what it's like for the animals that are born into these facilities and live in cages or in awful cramped conditions their entire life and are mutilated. They have their beaks cut off and their tails docked and are castrated and all this awful stuff. And then they're killed. And I don't think any of us can imagine how awful that must be for them. But the least that we can do is take action and spread the word and fight for a world in which we're no longer exploiting animals and cancel animal ag truly, because animal agriculture is the cause of this pandemic that all of us are experiencing right now. Yeah, even experts have acknowledged that animal agriculture and animal exploitation are huge human health risks. And contribute to pandemic COVID, and if we don't change how we're doing things, we're gonna have another COVID and we're gonna have future pandemics. You're gonna lay down, baby bubble? Oh, Cholo's here in solidarity with me. If you haven't already, please share this live stream to help us spread awareness about what's going on for animals and about the Cancel Animal Ag campaign. You can also share a petition at DxE.io/cancel animal ag. And thank you so much to everyone who has signed the petition and has shared the live stream. And especially thank you to the activists around the world that every day are fighting for human and animal liberation. I know that another world is possible. Oh, hi Susana. Yeah, Cholo would probably like me to get out of the cave, take him for a walk. But I've been here for over 3 hours and I'll be here to the end of this hour. It's definitely uncomfortable and makes me anxious, but it's nothing compared to what the animals go through, and I'm here for them. Ooh, nice ball. And I'm thirsty and I have to go to the bathroom, my body hurts. But we have to make sacrifices, even small sacrifices like this. Like, this is nothing. But we have to make sacrifices to help make the world better and to change the world for animals. Cholo, you're so cute.
Thank you so much, Nadia.
Nadia? Thank you, Nadia. She's being supportive. I can't see the comments on the live stream because I'm confined and not on the phone. But thank you to everyone who's being supportive. Rob mentioned that George and some activists were commenting and being supportive. So thank you all so much. Y'all are awesome. Liberation.
Yeah.
for anyone who's just joined live stream, my name is Kitty. I'm an organizer with Direct Action Everywhere, SF Bay Area. I'm doing the coronavirus confinement challenge to demand that we cancel ad. I've been in this cage for almost 4 hours. I'll be here to the end of the hour. And I'm in solidarity with the animals who are confined in so many different facilities all in the country and all around the world, and also to demand that we address the root cause of pandemics and disease such as COVID-19, which is animal agriculture and animal exploitation, as the species found the most bizarre and awful ways to torture and find and abuse animals. Not even just animals we eat, which is awful, like cows, pigs, and chickens, but even fur-bearing animals like foxes and chinchillas and bunnies on fur farms, aquatic animals in aquariums, wildlife in zoos. Like, our species has a mind-blowing list of ways that we confine and exploit and hurt animals. I truly believe that our disrespect and exploitation of animals has got us into this situation because the facilities where we exploit and confine animals are so crowded and full of disease and stress and poor nutrition and overuse of antibiotics that diseases develop that resistant to antibiotics are spreading. They're spreading rapidly and they're spreading to experts even already acknowledge this and about it, that animal exploitation and animal agriculture is gonna create more pandemics if we don't change what we do now, and COVID is directly related to animal exploitation. And I've seen for myself, because I've been to many of these facilities, I've seen many animals suffering and dying in cages like this and stacked up on each other, and it's awful. So I know how awful and filthy and disease-filled these conditions are and these facilities are, so to know that we're getting sick too. And I also have on here a humane time to acknowledge and talk about the humane myth and this idea of humane washing that I think most people don't want to hurt animals and know that animal cruelty is wrong. And I think a lot of people feel guilty about consuming animal products. So companies have found creative ways to make people feel better about supporting animal cruelty by being humane or cage-free or organic or these labels on their packaging and cute images too of happy animals, and that's called humane washing. This idea of making it seem like it's better than it is, making it seem like the animals are treated way better than they are. They're not treated well at all. They're commodity size of the industry treat them well, And I appreciate everyone's support. It definitely sucks being in this cage, but it's compared to what the animals go through. And we have to remember them and remember how urgent this issue is. We can't forget about them and forget to fight for them and fight for a better world, because they need us right now. They're dying right now and suffering right now, and that's why I have a necklace that I wear of the ear tag of a pig from a vigil. How important and urgent it is that we're trying to help them and fight for them, because they spend their whole lives in confinement and captivity until the day that they're brutally killed, and it's awful and there's no excuse for it. And we have to end it. And I know a better world is possible because there's so many amazing people around the world and activists around the world that are fighting for action and liberation. And I think that we can win because we have truth on our side. We have justice side in these industries that are mass murdering animals. The only thing they have is lies and profit. That's it. Like, there's no other way to be doing this to animals for money, and making money is no justification for anything. It's baseless. There's no reason to keep doing it this way. So I really hope that this pandemic a wake up call to all of humanity that we have to change what we're doing. We have to stop confining and exploiting animals, and we have to create a more just and humane world where animals are respected and they live out their own lives just as we live out our own lives. Because nobody's born for us to use and abuse. This idea that there are some animals for food and some animals for quote unquote pets, like that's not true at all. Like cats and dogs and pigs and fish and chickens and and different than us in the ways that matter for us to exploit and use. None of them deserve to die any more than anyone else. So really hope that this is a time for people to learn and educate themselves and for all of humanity to change the way we've been doing things and stop exploiting and hurting animals. So that it has to join the movement for animal liberation and acknowledge what's going on and educate ourselves about what's going on and take action to make the world better, because I know that we can. I've seen so many amazing things happen, so many people transform animal places in sanctuaries, so many people rescuing animals. We can save them and we can make the world a better place. And I really believe that that's the future, because we can't keep doing what we've been doing. We can't keep killing animals, eating animals just because that's what we've always done. That's no justification for anything at all. So please share the live stream if you haven't already, and please sign our petition. That's Cholo again. Please sign our petition at DxE.io/cancelanimalag. Help us spread the word about what's going on for animals, about our cancel animal campaign. Right now, social media is our tool to get the message out there and to inspire people to join the movement and to help the world for animals. Hopefully, when this is over, we can get out in the streets and march and save animals, continue to fight for our world, because the animals need us and they need us now. I really appreciate all the support. I'm so grateful for all of the people watching the live stream, being so supportive and sharing the live stream. I haven't seen comments, so I just hope that tons of people are being supportive, and to everyone who's being mean or trying to troll, I'm grateful to them too, because they're helping us gain more visibility on social media because it boosts our posts. So yeah, their mean comments don't impact me at all because I'm not going to them. And I'm so grateful for all the people who are saying nice things and all the acts out there that I organize with and that I know are fight every single day for a better world. I know that we can achieve it and have a world in which cages don't even exist. Nobody's in a cage. Animals are happy and safe and free. And that love and compassion is what's going to drive the world to change. The time for change is now. I think it's more obvious than ever. We have this disease, this virus that's spreading around the world in so fast, all of our lives. Not just in the United States, all over Europe, Latin America, Asia, Africa, everywhere. The whole world has been impacted. And I think it's time for all of humanity to make change, and hopefully as individuals we're thinking really deeply and critically about our role in all of this and our relationship to animals and how we've contributed to their oppression, and how we can make positive change starting now. And thank you all for sharing the live stream. Keep sharing the live stream and posting on social media about animal liberation, because that's our tool right now. We can sign our petition to at DxE.io/cancelanimalag and help gain more support and spread more awareness. Change is coming, and it gives me so much hope to see so many activists saving animals and protesting and demanding a better world, demanding animal ag. It gives me so much hope. We cannot continue to do things the way that we have been doing. No organic or humane or cage-free marketing and all this idea, like the humane whole foods meat, all of these ideas, none of that is going to save the animals, and none of that is going to prevent future pandemics. What we have to do is stop killing animals in the first place, stop exploiting them, and cancel animal agriculture, because that's the cause of all of this. So thank you all. The computers listening. you all so much for your support. I really appreciate everyone. Been here for almost 4 hours. I'll be here a little bit more. But yeah, I feel anxious and feel uncomfortable. Like my back hurts, my legs hurt, my neck hurts, my shoulder hurts. But really, I'm not even complaining, and I don't feel sorry for myself at all because the animals go through so much more. Like the misery and agony that they go through, I can't even fathom. I can't even begin to imagine what they go through. And I've been on farms and been to slaughterhouses and seen just the agony in their eyes that's indescribable. Not the physical pain of being and mutilated, but the emotional, mental pain that I can't imagine how awful it must be for them. And that just motivates me further to fight for a world in which they're all free, and if we can only save a few, then we save them and we change their lives too. But I do dream of the day that all the awful places, fur farms, zoos, animal experimentation labs, dairy farms, egg farms, none of that, all places where they exploit animals, I dream of the day that those places don't exist anymore. Instead, we have sanctuaries and shelters and rescues where we give animals love and care rather than exploiting them and killing them. Because also these species, like, we domesticated them. It's not their fault that they need us to help them, and it's not their fault that they can't really protect themselves because we kind of put them in that position. We put them in cages they can't get out of. We mutilate them so they can't defend themselves. We domesticate them so that they depend on us, and it's not their fault. It's our job to stop torturing them and to care for them. That's the right thing to do. So thank you so much for everyone's support. Please the live stream and sign our petition at DxE.io cancel animal ag. We will continue to fight for a world in which every animal is safe, happy, and free. And just a huge shout out to all the amazing activists out there with Direct Action Everywhere and with every other amazing group that's fighting for animal liberation and a better world for all beings. And I know that we can make the world better and wake up to what we've been talking about for so long, that what we're doing to animals is wrong, and time for change is now. We don't need to be using antibiotics in these facilities or getting rid of cages. We need to be getting rid of these facilities entirely and moving towards animal liberation, because hurting them is us too. Thank you all so much for your support. I've been here for almost 4 hours. I'm in a lot of physical pain. Nothing compared to the animals, of course, just really uncomfortable from being but it's an honor to be able to advocate for animals and the privilege to be an activist and to not be an animal that's locked up. You know, I have the ability to stand up and speak out for them, and so I'm going to use all my abilities to fight for them and for everyone that is suffering and confined and exploited, and fight for a world in which there's no cages and in which everyone is safe, happy, and free. And I know I'm not the only one. There are so many activists that I know in person and that I know online that are so dedicated to a better world, and it warms my heart and gives so much hope and inspiration. I know that a better world is in the future. It's up to us to fight for it. We know the right thing to do, so we can't wait until too late. We have to fight for it now. Thank you all so much for your support in almost 4 hours. I really appreciate everyone who has shared the live stream, and if you haven't already, please share the live stream and our option at DxE.io/cancel animal ag. I'm here in this cage for about 4 hours now, surrounded by animals that we have also rescued. Mika over here, who's snoring, people can probably hear her snore. She was in a cage for many, many years. In just a few months, I adopted her, and now she's free and happy, as she should be, because she's an old lady. She's like 14. And I just hope that every animal gets that, just gets to love and compassion and freedom like Mika does. That's all of us deserve. Thank you so much for the share the live stream and watched it and put really sweet supportive comments. And if you haven't already shared the live stream, start petition at dio/animal ag and join them for animal liberation. Right now, a lot of our events and organizing is online, so it's a great time to get familiar with the organization and the activists and get involved. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for all your support. Can you click that? Okay.